All right, everyone, it's day 2 of the Trump indictment saga. Of course, the actual indictment as opposed to the preliminaries, the lead up to it that took so many weeks. We were assured that Blue Anon was going to get him in 2 weeks and took a little bit longer than that. They did get him in the end, though. They got him indicted anyway, which is absolutely meaningless legally speaking. It's, in my opinion, probably going to fall through. But one impact that it has had is that if you look like at any news aggregator right now, virtually everything is Donald Trump, and I think that he enjoys this. He woke up this morning, or he will, of course. It's still 1 a.m. Eastern time in the United States. I'm in the Netherlands at the moment. I think that Trump, when he wakes up, he's going to get a cup of Joe or his Diet Coke or whatever the fuck cancer water he's drinking now. He probably should switch to something else to become a teetotaler. That'd be hilarious if he did. And he's going to look at the news. He's going to look at CNN and Fox and all the others. He's going to see his face 5 times on every front page. And he's going to have a little cheeky chuckle at that. When he gets his mugshot taken, I guarantee he's going to turn it into campaign merchandise. He's relishing the fact that that's going to occur. I think he can't wait for it. Tuesday for him is going to be a big campaign day. Not because he's going to a rally, but because he's going in to get booked by the Manhattan DA. Apparently, all indicators are that he's actually going to attend. Although DeSantis did actually respond this time and say, we're not going to cooperate with any extradition. This is bullshit. He can't really stop it, though, and it seems that Trump is probably going to go willingly. I think that he's going to enjoy. There's going to be a bunch of people there when he lands, and a bunch of people at the DA's office. There'll probably be a lot of crowd control on that day. It'll kind of be a free-for-all. I think that he's excited by this, but let's look at some of the frontline news on RCP. Now, RCP is a good aggregator. Sometimes there's stuff posted on the site itself. A couple of these articles are. It also aggregates from the entire legacy media, the entire missing link media, Substacks actually, and independent journalism and opinion pieces. So you should be using RCP, and they have fixed their poll thing. Up at the top where it says polls and shit, that was missing for a while. I'm not exactly sure why. It was a site glitch or maybe a problem on my end because I'm a boomer technologically. Let's look at some of the headlines today. This is the most Trumpy headline day actually so far, other than maybe right after the 2016 election or right around J6. Number 1, Bragg's indictment, a classic abuse of power. Of course, a predictable headline from Fox News by Andrew McCarthy. Dems celebrate Trump indictment with joy and anxiety by Gluck and Epstein from the New York Times. Thanks to Bragg, GOP once again unified behind Trump. That's Weigman's work right on RCP. We've entered a bitter new phase in American politics by Collinson at CNN. Even CNN is being kind of cautious in their language right now. Unlike MSNBC, as we'll see. They're the more intelligent ones. The Trump indictment and more. Bevan, Cannon, Krushar, and Walworth from RCP. GOP tries to turn Trump's indictment into a race war by Aleem from MSNBC. Yeah, they're still coping about this. I think that they realize that this is probably going to backfire for them, and so they're coping. MSNBC is coping. Left smears DeSantis for stating truth about Soros. That's, again, dovetailed with Trump. Half the time DeSantis is mentioned, it's in reference to Donald Trump. His statement fundamentally was good. He had proper timing this time. He didn't try to do a below-the-belt hit at Trump, which I think was wise. That's the way to do it. I think it may be too little too late, but we'll wait and see. What happens here is unknown because we're in uncharted waters. There has never been an executive, a chief executive in the United States before who actually has been indicted or charged with a crime. The closest you got was Watergate with Nixon. Of course, it looked like things were pending. He steps down, he gets pardoned, and then he basically wanders off, grows a beard, and is sad and alone for an extended period of time. He didn't have, much like LBJ, Nixon didn't have as much fun in retirement as many other presidents did. With this case, we've got an actual indictment. So there is no precedent for it. Therefore, there's an element of uncertainty in what happens next. But here's my prediction. Trump does show up in Manhattan, allegedly Tuesday, although it could be Monday, it could be Wednesday. At this point, timing is definitely something that they're skewing. They're trying to queer people's pitch as far as organization goes. That's why this is happening. There will be a bunch of people there at the Manhattan DA's office and or the airport. Many of them will be jeering at Trump because it's Manhattan. They chose a proper venue. It's like 80% Democrats there, so he's not going to have a whole bunch of supporters coming in with their coal rollers into the middle of Midtown Manhattan, I presume. And he'll show up, and there's going to be a lot of photos. He won't be in handcuffs, apparently. And he's going to wave to the crowd and smirk, probably. Get his mugshot taken, and fucking immediately, the absolute second that the mugshot photo drops, it's going to be on paraphernalia. And the funny thing is, it's going to be on leftoid paraphernalia and on MAGA supporter paraphernalia. You're going to have competing memes as far as Trump's mugshot goes. It will be one of the most seen pictures in all of world political history. And he fucking loves it. Donald Trump right now is one of the happiest people in the United States, and I don't think that the left understands this. They don't seem to understand what they have unleashed with this. Alvin Bragg's political kangaroo court, in which you have to convene a grand jury specifically so you don't have to show them the exculpatory evidence so you can get the indictment in the first place, is very likely to fall flat. At this point, I don't think it matters. If they attempt to punish him, that is, if they find him guilty, it's going to be hard for them to find a way to actually do so because a felony charge normally would warrant prison time, and it's not clear how, legally speaking, you can put a former president in prison. It would also look like a hatchet job. Trump's core fan base at this point is fired up. They're going to vote for him. I don't even think it would matter if he won the primaries. I think that a significant double-digit proportion of the GOP would side with him even if he wasn't on the ballot. They'd write him in. He loses to DeSantis, but DeSantis gets crushed by 50 states because people decide to vote for Trump instead, possibly giving him a few states in the process. I think at a bare minimum, the election that we're about to see is going to be sort of like when Teddy Roosevelt decided to run on the Bull Moose platform against Taft, his former friend, and you're going to see an absolute chaotic free-for-all. That's the bare minimum. So this election just got 10 times spicier just with this indictment by Alvin Bragg, and let's say that they fail. Let's say the charges don't stick. The copium will be hilarious. Trump will run on it as a main campaign issue and say, look, they tried to stop me, they fucking failed, fucking vote for me. And that will be a selling message to part of the population. Best thing he can go with is not to talk about his own grievances, but talk about yours. The best thing that Donald Trump could do with this is say, it's not really about me being persecuted. If they can persecute a former president, a mainline presidential candidate with billions of dollars, what the fuck do you think his weaponized IRS can do to you? Biden's weaponized IRS, the Soros DAs, etc., they hate you. They want you in prison too. They couldn't get me, but what do you think you can do about it? I'm here to reform this system. And I think that Trump is wise enough to not look the gift horse in the mouth. He's been handed a major political victory, albeit on the back of throwing out 2.5 centuries of precedent and endangering our status as an actual functional republic. I think for political purposes, he will exploit them. Again, Tuesday's the big day. We're going to get a mugshot, supposedly. I don't know if it'll be released same day, but it is going to be hilarious. I will be covering it the next day in my live stream, I'm sure. Again, much like with Friday's live stream the other day, it's likely that there will be nothing else to talk about. Just look at the headlines if you don't fucking believe me. It's a wall of Trump. What the hell else am I supposed to even cover? I don't even know when this circus will end. These potential trials can be very, very slow. Probably get little updates here and there for months and months to come. Oh boy, is this shaping up to be one hell of a fucking year. And you thought that 2016 was weird. Every year keeps getting more chaotic. I predicted that the 2020s would be more fun than the 2010s. So far, I've been borne out as completely right, I think, on that one. That's about all. Peace out.